Hi, boys and girls. We just watched The Phantom of Liberty by Luis Buñuel.
Louis?
Is it Louis? It's
No.
Luis.
Oh, I guess it is. I don't know.
It's Louis. Huey, Dewey, Louie.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a film that Mark has seen before,
Mhm.
and it's a film that he's seen quite recently.
Yeah, we don't do this very often. That's something
No.
I've seen that you haven't seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was one, though, where you were really excited about my reaction, and what was it?
World's Greatest Dad?
No. No, we didn't do a video on World's Greatest Dad.
Only yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you even said, like, I have no idea how you feel about this. And I'm like...
Yeah, then you really liked it.
Yep.
This film, though.
Yeah.
It seems like you didn't... I don't know what you thought of it.
Exactly, because...
I don't know if you know what you think of it.
Oh, I know what I think of it. My face was extremely twisted. It was just... Because I was really tired.
Mhm.
That hereditary talk really, really... I don't know. It got rid of a lot of energy. You know? It was fantastic.
Okay.
amazing.
I thought maybe you hated it.
No. You know me
Yeah.
with such a strong recommendation.
Yeah.
You were spot on.
Okay.
And it
cool.
didn't. It took until the final credits
Okay.
to truly realize.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought so. It seemed like, because we went in not knowing at all what this was, and I remember from the very first scene.
Or you did.
No. I also didn't really know what it was going in.
Oh, okay.
But, in this viewing, I intentionally also, made sure I told you nothing about what this was.
Well, I was actually going to start this review by saying, Mark, why don't you give us a synopsis of this film?
Should I do that?
No.
Okay.
Because that would be so stupid. It's not... Even compared to other Buñuel films, the ones that we've seen, this is one where we can't.
Yeah.
We just don't know what it is.
I mean, I can describe it. 'Cause, seeing it twice now, I have a better grasp of what it is. But
Can you describe it without giving spoilers?
no.
Right.
I mean, I can describe the structure, but even the structure is kind of a spoiler.
It's a big spoiler.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't talk about the structure.
Yeah, because I will say the very first scene is a bunch of army dudes walking around.
Oh, no, don't say that. Oh, well.
Well, that's not really a spoiler. If it's just the very first scene
no,
you see.
but I don't... Because I went in knowing nothing.
Yeah, okay.
And so
okay.
even that first scene was surprising. Well,
Okay.
too late.
Well, okay, whatever. But
Too late. Yep.
oh well.
5 stars.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did it take until the ending for you to realize that it's 5 stars?
When I first watched it, I was pretty hooked midway through, I think.
Okay. I was pretty hooked from the beginning.
I forget where I was hooked, actually.
Mm.
It may have been once I realized what the narrative direction
Well, that was your
of
first
it.
Buñuel. Other than
Come to think of it, I think it was.
iMovie.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, other than the short Buñuel with Charlie.
Chandelier. Yeah. Yeah, and you're right. This movie makes me want to watch the rest of Buñuel's catalog. I mean, I had interest in Buñuel's catalog. It's on our watch list. There's a reason I added all of his other films. Also because his other films look so different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they all have women on the covers.
Hmm.
And this just seems something that I don't like. How would he treat that? I don't know. But it's great. If you like moderately slow, surreal cinema.
It's also
with a very dry wit.
It's the driest wit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so smart.
Oh, but it works here.
It works
like
so well.
Exterminating Angel tries to do that dry wit too.
Mm-hmm.
But that movie was painful, I thought.
That movie, yes, is slow. It's meant to make you suffer. I feel like.
Not according to a lot of other people who've seen it. I think, yeah, it just, yeah. For the longest time, up until the end, and I keep on mentioning the end, I feel bad for the spoiler, but once you start the movie, you'll realize, if you don't check the runtime for this and just watch it through, you're you won't believe when it ends. You're just not going to expect it. But yeah, I'm like, no, Discreet Charm probably still is my favorite. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. And then nope, it's not my favorite anymore.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like, I love this film.
Yeah.
I mean, Discreet Charm's cool, but this is my kind of surrealism.
Discreet Charm is,
Yeah.
oh, it's hard to say. And it's been a year since I've seen Discreet Charm, and I wasn't prepared for that. I want to rewatch it and compare. That's a film I really want to rewatch.
You really like Discreet Charm too, right?
I really like it.
Was that a 5-star film?
I think I gave it a high 4 or
okay.
low 4.5. It wasn't 5. No, I didn't like it that much.
Yeah.
I found it a little slow and a little weird.
Yeah.
I think the thing with Buñuel is there's always a level of satire on like people of the time, and it's very much a sign of the times. And as a modern audience, without context, it's sometimes hard to really understand what he's going for. And I think this film has that too, but it also works on another level, like a purely surface level, in just the way it tells its story.
Also, I just really enjoy the humor of it.
Yeah.
Like, Buñuel has a very special kind of wit that other filmmakers don't do in this way nearly as well as he does.
No.
I mean, that's the vaguest thing I think I've ever said. But,
no, that's not vague at all.
Oh, well, I mean, not if you don't know what we're talking about, it can't be, but...
If you just said that, and I've never seen a Buñuel film, I would be immediately intrigued.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I thought that was spot on.
Okay, sure.
And very, very good way to sell Buñuel, actually. Yeah. It even boils down to his camera work. The camera work is part of his wit because everything is so cut and dry. Camera wit, it feels like it doesn't, like if a shot is in one room, if a scene is in one room, he'll use as few cuts as possible, but anytime any character is making an action, the camera would follow it. And it's this method that almost has no subtlety to it, but that's just part of it, just integrated so well with his humor.
Yeah.
And the way, and it's great. Yep.
Yeah. Another interesting thing, I like read up on the film after I watched it the
first
time.
I want this. Yeah, because usually I'm the one delivering the facts.
Yeah. Usually you are. Yeah. So he actually, the way he directs is super hands-off. Really? Yeah. Like he just says, read your lines. Really? And he gets people who, like, are no names and don't have much acting experience. And
That's
just let
weird.
And just let the actors do what they want, really.
Well, I can see that with Discreet Charm. I mean, no, with Exterminating Angel. But I know that for a fact that Discreet Charm has some names. But that's like his last film. He made it when he was in his 70s. Yeah. So maybe he broke some rules. But for this film, it's all no names and stuff.
I mean, there was that one person you thought you recognized.
I thought I recognized, and I didn't look her up.
But I mean, according to what I've read, like, he prefers just people who like aren't gonna recognize.
I feel like there's some other director that I know about that does that, but I can't remember him or her at the top of my head. Oh well. Some probably like a neo-realist director. All the neo-realist directors really like to use. Yeah, but that's that.
Yeah, it's like coming from that tradition, but it's doing what he does instead.
Yeah, it's just, this is far from neo-realism. Yeah. This is surrealism.
Yeah, another thing about this is that, now I'll save it for spoilers. Yeah. Talking about the actual film itself and what it does, but because.
Yeah,
it's best if you go and not, well. Again, it's hard to like be invested enough to like press play if you don't know it's going to be a good experience, maybe. But
I think it's a great experience.
Yeah, it's such a great experience. Yeah,
give it at least 30 minutes if you're not immediately hooked by it. But knowing Buñuel's style, I found this very easy to grasp onto.
Yeah, it's oddly digestible.
Yeah, and from beginning to end, my investment of it was the same throughout.
Yeah, like even though it's slow, it's because of how the narrative is structured, it's extremely engaging.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it almost has no right to be. Because it's so cut and dry, and because it's so just almost boring with the camera work and stuff. But what makes it interesting is what is hard to talk about without spoiling it.
It's also the pacing of the way he delivers these, I'll call them unexpected things.
Yeah.
It's just, there are moments where you're, okay, I think I'm beginning to get used to what is happening. And then the next thing will come and it'll just throw you off completely. And again, it's the delivery of the dryness of the delivery. And it's very different from a Wes Anderson kind of dryness. Because Wes Anderson, despite the dryness, he likes to use quick whip pans of cameras and quick cuts and a lot of very fast bullet speed, but dry humor. This is just Buñuel doing his pacing. He just paces it like Buñuel paces it. Yeah. Which makes me very curious to see, because he did a feature film with Salvador Dali.
Oh yeah.
Age of Gold. I really want to see, and that's also early Buñuel, but yeah, I want to see what the difference is.
I'm trying to think of recommendations.
Man, I bet they exist.
I guess Exterminating Angel.
Not Exterminating Angel. What? I would go Discreet Charm over Exterminating Angel.
Okay. We've only seen 3.
Yeah.
He has a pretty large body of work.
Very large body of work.
So, I mean...
I did some research. It's large.
It's definitely a director you want to get more into.
Yeah. Personally, I don't like Exterminating Angel, and it's also because Buñuel had trouble funding it.
I also had a hard time with it.
Yeah.
Like, I really like the concept. And we also saw the opera that...
Thomas Addis wrote.
Yeah, Thomas Addis, did an opera recently of it.
It's so good!
It's really good.
That's the version I would recommend, actually, to tell the story. Yeah.
Interesting.
But, man, I wish I could have seen... And everybody worships The Exterminating Angel. I think it's his highest rated film on Letterboxd.
Yeah, it's his most popular by far.
Most popular, highest rated. Oh, but it's dry to a fault, and it's slow to a fault. And that might be the point, but reading up on the background of it, I don't think that was his intention. I think there were things that he just couldn't get done. Now I just want to talk about why The Exterminating Angel is bad, but let's not do that. Because that's from where the beginning really got me. Remember with the chefs?
Oh, yeah.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
And then it stopped becoming fun. It just became so... Yeah.
I mean, the part of how slow it is almost makes me think is you're meant to kind of suffer through it.
Right, exactly. I want to think that too. And that's why I still have it at 4 stars. I don't go... Because it was an experience that felt worth my time in a way. But it's interesting to see there are certain images that he tries to, certain absurdities that he injects in that film that I feel are way more successful here. Yeah. Particularly, animals.
Yeah, he really likes animals.
Yeah. And it's cool when we see them in Exterminating Angel, but when we see them here, it's spot on.
Yeah.
It's spot on. I don't think Discreet Charm had something... Discreet Charm was about people. The people were the animals. But maybe in Buñuel films, people are people are animals in Buñuel films.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way the way he dumbs them down and the way he writes them.
This reminds me of who recommended me this director. My composition teacher.
Which one? Should we mention names? Should we just should we mention
I'll tell you off camera.
Okay, sure.
I mean, you can probably guess. It's the person... Oh, wait, there are 2 of them. But the person who comes from... Is it the same country? The same continent? No, that's too vague.
Let's tell you
after.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Recommendations. I'm trying to think. I can't even think of something structure-wise that does this. Like Mulholland Drive comes to mind, and that's a soft recommendation. Like, yeah, no. That's another film where the first half I wasn't too invested. It got a little stale, but then the second half like bumped it up and made the first half so juicy. And I've yet to rewatch it since I first seen it. But I know Mark has a very different opinion on Mulholland Drive. He's trying to think of recommendations while I spew on Mulholland Drive. This is why we do this pairing stuff. Now, those of you who have seen my solo rambles, is there any Xi'an Zone? No, there's no Xi'an Zone. This is very different.
No.
Shit. What? Oh.
I think Buñuel is the only way to go. It's
Buñuel,
the only similar thing
Buñuel.
to this. Yeah.
Just watch Buñuel.
Yeah.
And not necessarily Un Chien Andalou, because that's very different. The short film.
No, that's completely different.
Yeah. I'd say just The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie.
Oh, maybe something like... Nah, no, never mind.
What were you thinking?
I'm a court director.
Fellini?
Maybe Fellini? It's not...
I see it.
It's not really the same.
Because we don't really dig Fellini.
Yeah.
But there are some... No, he's not as dry.
He's not as dry.
But he's as quirky.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like Knights of...
Okay, we should get into spoilers. Let's get into spoilers. Okay. Yeah,
It's hard. It's so hard to talk about.
One last thing I will say. This film is really great at anticipating your expectations and denying them.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a master of that. And that's part of the reason why I like this film so much. It's because it does it better than... It does it so well in a way that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
I feel like.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Spoiler time. I feel like there are other films that feed on your expectation and then denies them. I feel like we've seen that, but I can't think of any.
Oh, maybe something like Hanukkah. He's not surrealist.
Well, there was one scene that actually reminded me of Hanukkah.
Oh yes,
but that's like
that we can't even talk about that.
Yeah, I can't even recommend that film. That's so different.
No,
it's so different. Happy? Nah, not Happiness. No. Just because that one scene reminded me of Happiness.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, whatever. Let's just move on to spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, go see this. It's one of a kind.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I think this is a good first Buñuel film.
It is a first good Buñuel.
I wish this was my first.
Yeah.
Now I want to rewatch Discreet Charm, having seen this. Mm-hmm. But I think we should first go into some of his other films in his filmography.
Yes,
I'm really curious. Okay, anyway, now let's go. Mm-hmm. How do we begin talking about this?
Yeah, so... Do you know any other narrative that's structured like this? Where it just follows and meanders around different characters with through lines like this?
See, like, this isn't even... It's like Buñuel's take on an anthology film.
Yeah.
But there's no logic. There's no traditional logic behind it at all.
It's his own logic.
And there are times when I thought that characters came back, but I couldn't remember if characters came... Or
I don't think they ever do.
Really?
They never do. Yeah, just for context, like, characters disappear and then they go away and they never come back again. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, but... If we're talking my favorite scene in a Buñuel film, it still has to be in The Discreet Charm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which one is that?
It's the telephone scene where... Oh man, I can't go in. That's already pushing it.
Oh, how come I don't remember it?
We burst out, like we exploded with laughter during that scene. We exploded. We both blew up with laughter.
Okay.
I'll tell you off camera.
Oh, I remember now. That was fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, this does that too here. With like, how did you find the girl? We have this story.
Story from Les Yeux. And yeah.
There was an explosion and then they leave.
And then they do a similar thing with the typewriter. Where like it does a typewriter sound that you don't even know where it's coming from and it just stops. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that? It's in the same scene with the little girl. So they go in, they ask her a bunch of questions. Yeah. There's I thought you laughed at that, but I guess you didn't pay attention. Okay. That wasn't your focus. But there was like ching 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 ching. He says something ching ching. There was a very hard cut that sounded sloppy on purpose. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah, this film it's such a fuck you.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like a fuck you.
It doesn't feel like a fuck you.
It doesn't feel like a funny games.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Because that's a fuck you in a very similar way.
But yet different.
It's very different because that's more like...
It's more harsh.
Yeah, it's more harsh. It's more meta. It's more...
Yeah, it is more meta. Yeah, funny how this never goes meta.
It never goes meta. There's one
meta.
time where... actually, there is one time where he looks at the camera. It's where the captain transitions to the story about the toilet dinner.
Oh, does he look at the camera?
Yeah, he's teaching the class, and then the camera goes up close, and then he looks at the camera.
Oh.
That's the one time where it maybe goes meta. That's as close as it ever gets.
Yeah. Discreet Charm gets more meta, if we're talking Buñuel. Mm. There's one particular reveal that was like, whoa! But anyway. Yeah, I think the moment that got me just both confused and just thinking of Buñuel's genius is definitely the little girl, finding the little girl. I just can't believe that he pulled it off.
Like, yeah, it's so ingenious. Like, it just, yeah.
Like, if I desperately want one of my close friends to watch this film, for the sake of this video, I don't want to go to spoil. I would literally tell them that there's a scene where a little girl is lost, and they try to find her, but she's literally in the same room as the people who are trying to find her. And they think she's lost, and they ask her questions.
Like, it's funny, it's so great, because, like, it's not the delivery that makes it funny.
No.
It's the setup.
It's literally the setup.
It's the setup and the writing.
It's the writing. And the dialogue. That's so true.
Yeah.
Like, everything is so plain.
Everything's so plain. It's only the setup and the context that makes it funny.
And this...
Like, a bunch of people, like, playing cards, having drinks isn't funny. Mm-hmm. But when you make it a bunch of monks... who were just praying.
Yeah.
And you cut away from the praying.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, okay, now they're praying. And then you do a cut. Yep. You go forward in time. And now they're playing cards.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, right from that point on, I was hooked. Mm-hmm. I was pretty hooked. I mean, I was tired. I had to pause the film to get caffeine, but I was hooked. I told you we were not going to stop this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it definitely lived up by the end of it.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure where we are in the runtime, but by the time the credits, because I'm like, this is not end. It doesn't feel like an ending. And then when it ends, I'm like, that felt really short.
Yeah.
The film does not...
This film feels really short. Yeah. I don't even know what the runtime is.
Exterminating Angel is shorter by like 10 minutes.
It does not feel that
right?
Way. It does not feel that way.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's because we're constantly being introduced to new characters.
New characters, new setups.
We're constantly engaged.
Uh-huh.
Where in Exterminating Angel, it's the same setting the entire time.
Right. Right. Yeah, again, with this film... It feels like it is just more about Buñuel fucking with the audience instead of, like, really, really trying to project something. I wonder.
At the same time, though, there is satire that's, like, it's not all nonsense.
Uh-huh. There's definitely satire on religion, because he likes to do that.
Satire on religion, there's satire on authority.
Cops.
Yeah, definitely the police force. There's satire on law. Uh-huh. There's satire on social norms.
Yeah, sure. Definitely. Yeah, he loves the satire and social norms.
Yep. Yeah.
He loves people stripping, and this one even, like, incestual stuff.
Yeah, like, holy shit.
That was crazy. Yeah. I just didn't expect it. It's just I just didn't expect it to go that far. And just to see how uncomfortable the aunt is. Oh, gosh. That's a nasty scene.
Yeah.
And the scene where the dude is shooting people.
Yeah.
Holy
like in any other
shit.
film, like that would just be like almost insensitive.
Yeah, but at the same time, there was no budget, and you can tell that the people weren't actually being shot. But I took it so seriously.
Yeah,
there was no part of me that wanted to laugh at the way the people fell down, even though it was lightly comical. The way they're just like, oh, but it's just we're just suddenly seeing this. This random guy who was in an abandoned or not an empty building. And he takes out a gun and just starts shooting.
Like it's sort of like it's that really interesting feeling you have where like you don't know whether to laugh or not. I've
definitely felt that in many movies.
Yeah.
And I actually really like movies that make me feel that way.
Yeah.
One of my Letterboxd reviews was literally like, okay, from now on I'm going to seek out films that make me so uncomfortable that I almost want to laugh. But I forget what movie it is. Phantom Thread has a scene. It's a scene on the dinner table where the delivery is so real and the woman is the actress is stuttering so much that I almost wanted to laugh at the way how she can't formulate her words.
Oh, wow.
But because it's an argument, it felt so real. I was both just super invested emotionally, but also wanting to laugh. That's I love it when that happens.
Yeah, it hooks you in a very special way.
Oh, Old Boy. When the twist, or I shouldn't say, when a certain thing is revealed in Old Boy, the main character's reaction to it. Having rewatched it recently,
maybe.
And I've talked to some of my friends who I showed it to, and they said the same thing. They almost wanted to laugh.
Interesting.
Even though they were totally disturbed. So
it's almost like the absurdity you want to laugh.
Right. Yeah. But I didn't feel like laughing when he was gunning them down. I didn't feel like laughing during the incest scene. But then there's the payoff where after the kid goes and hangs out with the people a bunch, he comes back and the aunt's just like, yeah, do whatever you want. And then he just you don't see what they do, you know, like you see her bare body when he's actually trying to like force himself onto her,
which actually isn't her body.
Yeah, it looked really weird.
Yeah, they actually replace her with a younger actress.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely threw me off a bit. I'm like, whoa, what? But yeah, to make us see the uncomfortable stuff, and then when things are consensual, just like not show us, not give us the money shot, the good stuff we've waited for. I mean, that's also part of the fuck you that this film does.
Yeah, like a film. Well, I don't know what the convention is. Would a film from the 70s sort of grant you that satisfaction?
I think a French film would.
I guess so.
Yeah. I've seen 70s American films that grant you with it.
Okay.
Like Don't Look Now. We mentioned it earlier. Don't Look Now, but in some video. Yeah, Don't Look Now. Good movie.
So, I think, when was it? Our last film. What was it that we saw?
Our last film?
That we saw? There was a dinner scene. Anti-porno.
Oh yeah.
The parallel of this dinner scene with the anti-porno dinner scene.
The dinner scene.
Yeah, that's what reminded me of this film.
Oh.
The dinner scene in this film is actually the most popular of the movie.
With the toilets?
Yeah.
Why does it remind me of anti-porno?
Because it's something similar. Was the gag clear there? With the toilets?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
That, like, you know, they're going, the restroom and the dining room are switched.
Yes, yeah.
And the roles are switched.
Yeah.
And they talk about, like, they can't talk about dining while they're on the toilets.
Yeah.
Which is great. Yeah. You know, like, the mainstream American in me almost wishes that they pulled the joke further with some gross out stuff, but, like, the way Buñuel does it is perfect.
Yeah, like, that's just not even necessary.
Right, exactly.
Like, that just, like... Yeah, it's the setup that's funny.
The setup, you see the toilets, you're like, I didn't expect that. But then again, with Buñuel, what do you expect? And they start taking their pants off, and I'm like, okay, cue laughter. You win, Buñuel. You win this time. You win every time in this movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, Oh man, the part where like, what the military part where all the soldiers keep on going outside, and then this guy comes in and is like, yeah, I've heard that you guys have been misbehaving. Now sit down. And these two dudes, like, attention. He like projects his voice to the entire class, and these two dudes are just like, there's that. It's so funny. Yeah, it's so funny. And then they go into the story.
Yeah, it's almost funny because it has no right to be funny.
Right. Yeah, it's so silly.
Yeah.
But it is funny. And then he goes into the story of the toilets, which doesn't make any sense. And then it goes back like once, just like, oh, taking the notes. Oh, how many tons of urine is it? Oh, 10 million tons. Thank you. Yeah. And then it just goes back. And then we gotta talk about this is such a good scene when the clock just ticks by the hour.
Yeah.
And the different animals start walking in. You got like a chicken. Well, okay, animals. There's a dude riding a bike.
And then there's the mailman.
There's the mailman. There's a fucking... I don't even know. It's like an emu, but with a giant body. Like, the body is so big, I'm like, what kind of ugly bird is this? I didn't even know what it was. Yeah.
Like, you're in a Buñuel film where just some exotic animal just happens to walk by.
Right, exactly. Oh, man, but again, comparing it to Exterminating Angel, this is just so good.
Yeah.
It just hits the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I know why. Because with Exterminating the Angel, you see the animals at the beginning. There was foreshadowing.
Yeah.
And that was when it was the funniest.
Yeah.
So when they appear later, it adds to the boringness of it.
Well, it made too much sense.
It makes too much sense.
Like, yeah, okay, the bears are still there. Oh, they're going to eat the bears.
Right. Ooh, spoilers.
Yeah, or something like
that.
Oh,
it's a little far, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops. Oh, well.
Oh, well. Yeah. Great scene. And then there are other... Yeah, okay. So the movie starts off... Oh, man, I love the text at the beginning. How it says that it's about Napoleon in 1808. And...
It was funny, because when we started it, you were like, I don't think I can do this.
Right, exactly.
Because I knew exactly what it was setting up to be.
And the movie's called The Phantom of Liberty.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why... Because I hear that title, and I'm like... Buñuel likes to satirize things. And then it's a period piece. Now I know how you feel every time I mention the 5-hour Napoleon biopic.
Yeah.
I still want to watch the 5-hour Napoleon biopic, even if on my own.
You know what would be the greatest thing ever?
What?
If someone's, like, scheduled this, and they play this film, or they schedule the Napoleon
biopic.
And then they play this film instead.
Yep. Yeah. What was the first cut to real... To not real life, but to present day.
So they're in the Napoleon.
Yes.
And like
they're gunning down people.
They're gunning, like, they're executing people. Then they have the statue that whacks the guy who's like kissing Mary.
The statue whacks the guy.
Yeah, that's like the first surreal thing that happens.
Yes. Yes. Man, I don't even remember that, and I reacted so hard to it too. Yeah. And I expected the Mary statue to like talk. Mm. But what happened was the other statue whacked. Yeah. So, and then what happened?
Yeah, so then he digs up the body of the statue who slapped him. Uh-huh. And as soon as he, like... Oh, no, he digs up the Mary body. Okay. And the Mary body is, like, all pretty and not decomposed. Uh-huh. Then we come out of that, and that turns out to be a story that someone's reading on a park bench.
This is reverse Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah.
And I never thought I'd see something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you remember, there's the pictures.
The two little girls with
there's
the pictures.
The pictures.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so good. With the two little girls. You think... First you see a dude who, like, tries to, you know, like kind of compliment them. And I'm thinking M. Mm. I'm just thinking of M by Fritz Lang. And then it doesn't happen. He actually just gives them a couple of pictures. And tells them not to show adults. Okay, we won't show adults. Shows adults. Gives them the envelope. And then the adults see it.
They fire the maid.
Did they fire the maid?
They fired the maid.
Oh, right, because the maid was like, how could you do this?
Yeah.
Right. But wasn't the mother... So who were the two ladies? Was it the mother and the maid?
Yeah, that was the mother and the maid.
So why would the mother fire the maid even though she was there too? Okay, yeah, because I didn't catch the faces, so the humor didn't really grab me too... Like, that part, I was a little confused. I'm like, wait, wasn't the mother there too? I don't remember.
The mother wasn't there.
No.
Oh, wait, was she? I don't think she was.
Man, I don't know.
I mean...
Neither was surprised.
The film's logic, it could work both ways.
Right, exactly. But then I'm thinking, is it pictures of vaginas and penises? You know?
That's what they make it look like.
Exactly. Yeah. Just like, can you believe this? And then it's just building.
Yeah, but then they continue to react to it as if it is pornography.
Exactly. Like, well, that one's okay. And then that's taking it too far. Yeah. And they don't show you for like 3 seconds. You're like, is that one going to be it? That one's going to be the one where it's actually a lewd photo. Nope. Just looks almost like the Taj Mahal, but I think it's some European building. Nope. Too far. It's too far. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is the movie where I don't feel bad just talking individual scenes, because that's the only way to really dissect this film.
Yeah,
With other films, we go so deep into themes, but we don't talk about scenes. This is the film we just talk about scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, you remember that one time when...
Yeah.
Because the effect of this film is that it just throws a bunch of shit at you.
Right. It's like, oh yeah, that what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the part where the French setting comes back in a painting.
Yeah.
And then it zooms out and it's like the doc.
Yeah, it's the office of the investigator when they're going in to
report the investigator.
Girl.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and there are 2 police investigators.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, their offices are different too.
Oh, really?
But they're set up the same way.
Okay. Right. Wait, what? Wait, what?
So the investigator's office.
Uh-huh.
So there's the investigator.
Yes.
He interrupts them, goes to the bar, gets the phone call from the dead sister.
Oh.
Goes to the mausoleum. Gets arrested.
And then
claims to be the investigator. They
and then
phone
they
the investigator.
Yes.
The other investigator answers the phone.
Uh-huh.
It's the same office, but it's like really fancy.
You know what else is the same that threw me off?
Huh.
The secretary was the same person.
I think so.
No, she was.
She was?
She actually was. That's why I was like, is the investigator the same guy who did the kids' case?
Yeah, he looks really similar.
I don't know. I'm not convinced.
They're obviously not the same person because they walk in the same room together. They're like, oh, they're different people.
Okay, they're not the same person.
Yeah.
Which the film leads you to believe they're actually the same person.
Yeah.
Because they look so similar.
Yeah.
And when they walk together, like, oh, he's a little taller than the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I almost wish that it was just the secretary in the office that are the same, and it's just some different dude, some different old guy. That'd be perfect. And then there's the 2 old soldiers who the 2 young military trainees who go out and just give a parking ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like this other car. That didn't work as well for me, but you know.
Actually, that was really interesting, because it I mean, having seen the film twice, it was completely boring, completely just like run of the mill. But because they had just came from a classroom where they were put in the context of naughty school children.
Yeah.
It completely stripped them of their authority.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Oh, man, and you know what else was really weird? So, the other students keep on getting called out, and a group of them are like, okay, there's a target practice. They go out. The moment you hear the gunshots is the moment they come back.
Yeah.
They come back and boom, 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 boom.
And not all of them come back.
Oh, really? I think I subconsciously picked up on that, but it didn't really
It's like
register.
explosions and sirens.
Yeah.
And it's so funny.
That's great.
And then they all leave.
Yeah. I feel like this film is funnier on the second watch.
Yeah, it is. It is. I was cracking up the whole time,
exactly.
but like had to restrain myself just because I didn't want to make you feel bad.
Oh no, I didn't.
Because
feel
you
bad.
were like also like as tired as you were, but also like you were so confused.
I was confused, but no, your laughter made it better. Actually,
okay, cool.
I'm glad that you had the laughter. Yeah, what else? The monks. There's the lady. There's the dude who invites everyone to the rooms.
Yeah, the BDSM expositionists, I guess.
BDSM dudes. The whole clothes change. The scene where they change clothes. Man, you watch the film and you think it's slow. You think back on it. So much happens.
Yeah.
There's so much that happens.
Yeah.
And there's so many moments that actually subvert your expectation. But the logic is so confident.
Yeah.
You're just...
Yeah, like...
You're just along with it.
I guess that's something to learn from this. When you have logic that is so confident, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, we see... By the way, what was that... She has this weird stocking underwear thing that literally is only translucent, so you see her genitalia. I'm like, what is the practical use of that? Is that just sexy lingerie?
I think that's fetish wear.
Yeah, I think it's fetish wear. Yeah, okay. The one fucking monk's face when, like, the old dude's like... Yeah, that face, that was the funniest thing. When the whipping was happening.
He likes to be hit, I'll hit him.
Oh, yeah. He goes out and he's like, I'll hit him. Right. I even said, like, oh, that's a kinky monk. Yeah. Oh, and then there's the weird scene about the cancer. Where the doctor's just super unprofessional and so roundabout. Yeah. And I realized that the scene begins with, like, oh, you have to have dinner with me sometime. Yeah. Like, they're totally buddies. Yeah. And then by the end of the scene, there's, like, it's just so sad in a way.
Oh, yeah. And he comes out, he also, we have to have dinner with me sometime. He looks at his report, you're healthier than I am.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the 2 x-rays, it's like, you have this and this and this. What are those dots? Yeah. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it.
You have this black spot, and I was like, wait, okay, I see a little black spot, but I don't think that's what he's referring to. What are the white spots? Oh, I see the white spots. Nah, it's nothing. I just paraphrased the movie and me. I hope that was kind of clear to understand what I just did.
I want to cut a little hole in you.
Oh, yeah. What the No, at that point, I swear I missed a line. I'm just like, so I missed something here. There was something I missed. And how it showed on my face was just like, and my tiredness. It's good film to chew on. Yeah. After it's over. And then, no, but that's the same dad who goes back, and then they discover that the girl is missing. Yeah. And so you just never hear about the cancer again. Yeah. Kind of like The Room.
Oh,
you thought that too?
I just thought of it now when you mentioned
it. Yeah. Kind of like The Room. I swear I have breast cancer. Okay. And there's the ending.
Yeah, I realized the genius of the final shots now. Yeah. Because they're looking at the 2 people. Uh-huh. They like look at something, and then they say something. I forget what it is. Like shoot him down or something. Yeah. Then you hear gunshots. And then the camera pans.
It pans too far. It pans like 720. It goes 360
it goes
twice.
A whip pan. You expect it to very quickly
just a 180,
go to where the action is. Yeah. But it just keeps going and going.
And you know what I thought of when I heard gunshots? I'm like, oh, there's gonna be the French battle. Yeah. Inside the zoo. Like, my mind was just like, oh, it's gonna come back.
Yeah. It's funny, it ties the beginning with the end in a really cool way.
Strange way.
In a really strange way.
Because it doesn't show you. Yeah. But for some reason, is that what you thought as well?
Yes, yeah.
You just know.
Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck, it may be one of my favorite sound design things in a film.
Yeah, exactly. It just works. Yeah. And then you see shots of animals, like the emu or the ostrich, another bird that I just from the head I can't tell for a while. And then does it like whip pan once more to blurriness, and then the credits start?
Yeah, it's on the bird. It gets blurry, and then it just freeze frames and shows you the credits.
Right.
Yeah, with like, and there are church bells tolling.
There are always church bells tolling at the end of Buñuel films. Okay, not in Discreet. Discreet tried to just end silently, but Exterminating the Angel ends very much with church bells. If you remember the movie's ending.
I don't.
It literally is in a church.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So there you go. It's not a big spoiler, by the way. It's kind of outside the plot.
It's such a classic film.
Exterminating Angel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
In terms of
I think it's overrated. The movie.
I don't know. It's the concept is so strong.
Concept is very strong.
Yeah. It's just the execution isn't as.
Right.
Like you said, it might not be what he intended.
Yeah.
Or maybe it is. Who knows?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Maybe he's just lying to the media, saying, "Oh, this is not the film I wanted," when it actually was. When that just added to the effect. Who knows?
I wouldn't.
Yeah. Wouldn't put it past him.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah. Anything else? There's got to be more. There's got to be more juice to squeeze. What about that poster? With like the butt and like it's some butt holding the Statue of Liberty.
It's a butt holding a torch, and the torch is like floppy.
Oh, so it's like it's supposed to evoke like the freedom statue, just literally the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Because the Statue of Liberty was like a French figure, so I think everyone would have recognized. So yeah.
Yeah.
And the Statue of Liberty was a thing in the 70s. Man, what am I talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Phantom of Liberty. Phantom of Liberty.
Phantom of Liberty.
Do you have any idea why it's called that? I think it's just. I think that's just.
I think it's just
it's just it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just why. All right.
Yeah. Are there any? Now that we've talked about any other just like absurdist films that are just like absurd for the sake of being absurd? Like, obviously there's satire here, but like the point of this is the absurdity.
There's one, depending on like the way I see the Holy Mountain is that Jodorowsky throws.
That's same.
Yeah,
that's very similar. Kind of thing.
Yeah, Holy Mountain by Jodorowsky.
Yeah, Holy Motors to an extent too.
To an extent. Having rewatched it, I pick up more of a theme. So yeah, in my movie club, I paired Holy Mountain and Holy Motors the same weekend.
It was a genius.
Twice.
It was an ingenious.
Because it was so good that I showed it the following year again to more people. Because everyone has to see Holy Mountain.
Both films ended up being so strong.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't get them to 5 stars though. Ah, drat. Oh well. That happens. 4.5 stars, very strong too. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah. I want to see more Buñuel now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, did this hook you?
Thank you for sitting me down and telling me to watch this. At last, you know.
Yeah.
We should trust each other more. I should trust you more. Still don't trust you on Mrs. Doubtfire though. Oh yeah, that's on our watch list. Mark grew up with it. It's a classic.
My memory of it could be distorted, but I don't think it is.
Okay.
I don't think it is.
So, let's see. If we're talking your recommendations and movies that you've seen, like, in your childhood, Big was a smash hit.
Yeah.
Loved it. And then we have World's Greatest Dad and The Breakfast Club. World's Greatest Dad was a cool idea, but just terribly executed, I thought. Just shot very poorly, and I guess it's supposed to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I didn't enjoy it. And there's The Breakfast Club, which is a very special case, where I just despise the movie. But we won't get into it right now.
Yeah. I even, as a joke, there was a poster sale at our school, and I was looking just to see if there's anything to get. The only thing I saw that was worth getting was a Yoda poster that's up there. And a Breakfast Club poster, which I just put in his room when he wasn't looking.
And then I was laying in my bed, and I saw it, and I'm like, oh... Great. Thanks, Mark. Yep. So, it's the first time I mentioned The Breakfast Club on this channel.
Yeah.
I want breakfast. Club. No, I don't. Okay, on that note.
Wait. Let's do this.